YouTube. I am over at Motorcars Toyota of Cleveland Heights, Ohio. Today I have hands-on with this brand spanking new 2014 Toyota Highlander Limited. It's all-wheel drive, V6. This is the first major redesign for the Highlander in many years in comparison to its predecessor, which looked like a dull frozen beef patty. This is such a huge difference with this dramatic redesign. Has an all-new interior and exterior, obviously. Alrighty, so here's the window sticker, where it was manufactured, etc. If you want to read through everything, just pause the video. I'm not going to read every single detail of this car. 1824 highway, just about average, in line with everybody else. And a $42,160 sticker price in this configuration. Now the styling is just as dramatic in the back too. It's actually something pleasant to look at. Now it rides on these 245/55/19s. These are rather large wheels. It has rear disc brakes. Of course, it has independent rear suspension. You would have thought that these were chrome wheels, but they're simulators. Yeah, you can just see a little division right there. It uses these simulators to make it look like it has chrome wheels. But that's also a practice that even Ford has done for many years. All new interior here. Huge step up over its predecessor, no comparison. Now this is the limited model, so you should expect quality throughout the interior to be better. I haven't seen what kind of interior the basic models have. Anyways, interior quality on the door is pretty good. Everything is soft to the touch, wood grain trim, armrest is soft to the touch. All four windows have auto up and down functions, window lock, power door locks, mirrors, and memory seating. I believe the older Highlander didn't have memory seating. I could be mistaken on that. This thing has a JBL audio system, so it should be a pretty good sound system. Cup holders, a door pocket, everything down here is a plastic finish. So at least the most commonly touched areas are padded. Now the seat, perforated leather inserts here. I do like the contrasting with the stitching, adjustments, back and forth, backrest, adjust for more thigh support. You can see how it just moves up and down. And this is to increase the thigh support further. You can see how just this end of the seat tilts up and down. That's pretty nice. This is for lumbar support, of course. Now the key fob is inside a little bag and I refuse to take it out. Lock, unlock, hold this button and the liftgate should open up. Yeah, like so. Okay, I just held the button again to close it. That works. And of course, panic. Just toss that in the cup holder, push button start. Now, with all honesty, I first encountered this Highlander 20 minutes before I started filming this, so it's a new experience for me as well. And some of you know my opinions regarding its predecessor, which really weren't that positive. But this is such a huge step up, and you're really not going to hear me say much bad about this one. First impressions have been good so far. The seats are perfect. I really can't complain about them at all. They are soft, supple, definitely the place you'd want to be in for any road trip. Lots of thigh support, at least in the driver's seat. You have the extensions over here. Can't ask for any more, though you don't have any options like that on the passenger side. The seat just goes back and forth, and for the backrest, at least it's powered. Decent amount of legroom, even though this center console is wide. It doesn't intrude at all. The footwell is just wide. Can't complain at all in terms of legroom. So they really hit it off here in terms of comfort. Interior quality, dramatically better, and the appearance as well. Just about everything it puts your hands on is soft to the touch. With its predecessor, though, it's as if somebody donated a ball pen full of those plastic balls, melted it, and used that to make their interior. Everything over here, padded. Love the stitching throughout the dashboard. The two-tone finish. This is a plastic insert, though. But at least everything else is padded. I like the wood grains, though. This insert here, you can store your phones, change, or whatever, and it's actually padded in there too. Not the case in this side though. Check out this little lid. Once you remove it, or pop it from underneath, let me see. It's a little bit of pain to pull it off. It clips out, and you can run your cables and cords or whatever to your phones down there to the power outlets, auxiliary or USB port that's down there. So that's pretty nifty, I think. And there's also mood lighting or accent lighting throughout the cabin too. You can just see my hand glowing blue right there. Into the door panels as well, and into the back seat too. You can just make it out right there. So that's pretty cool. Kind of reminds me of Mercedes and Ford with the lighting throughout the interior cabins. Yes, we are still in 2014. The screen here is a clue of that. This clock here, it looks as if Toyota purchased millions and millions of them back in the 80s because it's the same exact style and format with the two little buttons for the hours and minutes to the side. Not sure why they're still doing that. Now here's the infotainment screen. Of course it has Navi, has apps too, and it seems to be somewhat responsive. You have to wait about a little half second or so, but yeah, everything is responsive. Let me load in the map right there. That worked. Traffic reports, messages, setup, phone, and etc. All the traditional things. Go back to the home screen. We have a brief summary of the weather, the radio. Driver easy speak. This is a form of intercom. So say if you have a group of kids that you're just a hair away to put up for adoption because you were screaming at the top of your lungs to tell them to shut up, Easy Speak will help you out with that. You wouldn't have to shout at all. And you see this little grill up there? That is actually the microphone.
Hey kid, do you need a juice box or anything?
I can't hear you.
You can't what?
I can't hear you.
You can't what?
I can't hear you.
Hold on, let me use the Easy Speak. Do you need a juice box or anything?
Oh, you have some high C.
Okay, I'll get you some high C.
Going back to this, I love how the layout is so simple in comparison to my Ford Touch, which is just a cluttery mess. This is much more intuitive. I will say that Ford uses a more vibrant screen. Same thing with Cadillac too. It's just that the interfaces are so screwy. Toyota made this so simple where even the biggest dummy can, work this thing within a day or so. Dual zone automatic climate control. Everything is so easy, self-explanatory. The hazards, stability and traction control, snow mode. I'm assuming it will make the car take off in second gear. That's just a guess. Hill descent mode and diff lock for the all-wheel drive. Now this thing uses a 6-speed automatic and the manual shift mode, of course. The shifter seems to be leather wrapped. Dual cup holders, heated and cooled seats. I love that. Right now it's like 40 something outside, so let me leave that heated for a little while. Glove box is damped, it's large. All of the books, quite sure they haven't been read yet. The lid here isn't padded. It's a plastic finish. Shuts evenly though. The center console, a plastic finish through the sides. At least the lids are soft to the touch, fortunately. This side is softer than the edges here. You need to push down over here for the thing to retract down. Same deal towards this direction. Remove this cover or this lid here. Now this can be a very convenient location for women who have a tradition of putting their purses on the passenger seat or throughout the center console. They can just put it in here. Perfect size for most purses. There we go. Now once you have that lid back in there, you can slide it back and forth to whichever side you find it more convenient. Let me pull that back. Now remember, you have to push down in order for the thing to open up. The steering wheel is spot on in terms of thickness. You have the side bolsterings, it's leather wrapped, it feels so soft in your hands. This is the navigation controls to that little screen right there in the instrument cluster. You'll get your compass, average MPGs, and etc. The little center button over here is the OK or confirm button. Back button, and I think this is almost like a home screen button. I saw that once I started navigating around and I hit back over here. Yeah, it took me back to that screen again. Radio controls, mute, and hands-free controls right there. You can see little phone pictures there. Cruise control, intermittent speed wipers, and to control the rear wiper. Headlamps are here. You can turn off the daytime running lamps, fog lamps, and the steering wheel should tilt and telescope. Yep. Tilt and telescopes, and it is damped. This is to open the liftgate. BSM, I believe it's called blind spot monitoring. So this is pretty much that warning system to tell you that there's a car beside you. Comes in handy when you're on the highway. So there's going to be a little light that will illuminate in the side mirror right there. Backup sensors and heater for the wipers. The headliner is a rather abrasive material, though it's padded somewhat. Here's the shade to the sunroof, which does open up like so. Let me close that so it doesn't leak any water in here. And to tilt it, this other button right there. It's an independent button. in order to tilt. Home link garage door opener, and of course for the map lights, and little pouch for your sunglasses and the conversation mirror. There we go. The rearview mirror dims, of course. The sun visors are still wrapped up. Can't really open them, but let me see if I can just peek them. Okay, they did make a cutout. Yeah, mirror and vanity light, fortunately. Quite tiny, but at least you have something. It's the same deal on the driver's side, too. Mirror and vanity light. It's cushiony, sturdy. Handles here are damped. I have to suck my cheeks in order to hold myself off from saying the word I typically call those. Quite roomy. Materials identicals up front. Everything is padded here. You have these little window shades. That's pretty cool. Like so. Becoming a common feature nowadays. Cup holder down there. And we're back to the plastic finish again. Auto down function for the windows again. Notice how the windows slow down before it reaches the top. See? Slows down a tad. I don't know what the reasoning to that is. Now the seats do roll back and forth. You can see right there with this bar. So access the third row, you can either climb right in, go through a little tunnel right there, which is more of a pain in my opinion, or do that. The seat will roll forward, and yeah, you'll be able to access the third row again. This setup sort of reminds me of the one in the Pathfinder. Not sure who did it first. The newest Pathfinder, that is. This is the same function too. It only makes it easier for the third row passenger to do it. Yeah, same thing. And this allows the backrest to tumble, but we need to pull it down like so. Align with the backrests to the third row to make a flat floor here. So that's pretty cool though. Dashboard again. Now, as expected, the seats are quite flat, not a whole lot of support here. My legs are up in the air, but there is lots of room though. That's one of the benefits for this seat to, you know, adjust back and forth. Pockets behind the seat, controls to the rear AC. I like how there's another LCD for that so that you know what you're doing. And down below, you have another power outlet. Right there. Those two. That's pretty cool. You can plug in just whatever accessory you want. What's missing back here is the optional DVD system. Probably would have been found on the headrest or on the headliner. The vents to the AC are in the headliner, and of course you have the lighting. The first generation Honda CR-V served as a little inspiration here because, see this flip-up tray? First generation Honda CR-V has that. Little cup holders, little tray, and when you don't want this thing in the way anymore, just pull this lever, folds it down. Now to open the glass, just push this button, pops up. This is a little bit slippery when it's wet, so your fingers can, you know, slip right off. This kind of reminds me of Ford with the Expedition, where the glass closed on top of the little wiper motor. So that's how the wiper operates. There's no motor on this glass, it's right down there. Just close that. And the cargo area. It's pretty generous. Obviously, the 3 rows of seats. The strap folds down along with this cargo cover. It's pretty nifty. Obviously, you have your cup holders to the side, cargo lights, the seat belts. Pull this back up. It's a very easy operation, and it does recline too. And legroom is somewhat of a pinch, but we must consider that the second row does roll back and forth, so legroom will be a little bit better here. More cup holders to this side, plastic finish throughout. Little storage area down there, and a spare tire underneath. Now, of course, there's a remote to operate this liftgate, but we also have this button here if you don't have to have your keys in hand. And they got the backup camera and a button to open the door again. Look at the 3.5 liter dual overhead cam V6. Quite sure it has variable valve timing and etc. There are no lift supports or anything for the hood. You need to use this prop bar. 270 horsepower. It's just adequate. Has a 5,000 pound towing capacity too. Okay, so we're going to test drive this brand new Highlander. Oops. Gee, thanks for ruining it with that text message alert.
I got a text message. And so smooth.
Turn right here. Oh, the indicator sounds just like that of Ford's. No, a huge difference over its predecessor with the 5-speed. Definitely absorbs rough pavement. It's not thrashy at all, very smooth. Really can't say much else concerning the speeds I'm going, but first impressions are quite positive. Alrighty, I'm sorry if I couldn't show much of a test drive. The roads here, so local, too much stop and go traffic, and it wouldn't allow me to, you know, get a feel of this thing. But initial impressions are pretty good. The ride is very soft and etc., as you heard me say. Families will love it, and I have had an experience with a Ford Explorer before, 2011 or 2012 model, and the ride felt a little bit more sloppy. Not bad, but just not as composed as this. And don't forget, I am at Motorcars Toyota of Cleveland Heights. And lastly, don't forget to give James Hecker a call. He will gladly sell you this very Highlander or any brand new or pre-owned Toyota throughout this entire lot. So anyways, YouTube, thanks for watching, and hope you all enjoyed this tour.